Welcome to this video. My name is Lukas Mankow and today I want to talk with you about my whole background as an athlete and my history in sports. It was the biggest part of my life for 18 years and I did nothing else than training and sleeping. And on this journey I had so many ups and downs, and these I want to share here today with you and talk a bit about this whole story. So everything started when I was 6 and I started playing soccer, and it was everything for me. I did this for 6 years and we played in our garden every day with our neighbors. We built our own soccer goals. I played in our soccer club. It was everything, and I trained a lot to become a professional soccer player. And then I came to the point where I lost a bit the joy and we had some conflicts with our trainer, and I stopped playing and I transferred into table tennis and tennis, and I did this 2 years. I don't know why or how I came exactly into this direction, but I played tennis for 2 years. It was fun, but then I got my first skateboard, and then I saw a lot of crazy BMX riders in our park and in different skate halls, and I said I want to do the same. And I don't have money to buy a bike because a good bike is pretty expensive. You need to pay 700 euro. It's like one of the cheapest ones, and you can pay a lot more. And I started doing a lot of gardening stuff at my aunt's house. So twice a week I worked there to have enough money to pay for a BMX bike. And then I finally got it with 14 or 15, and I started riding every single day, and I got a huge addiction for BMX riding. And what I learned that early in my life is that when you want to be successful in something, you need to work super hard and do things every single day, because I trained 6 to 12 hours every single day next to my school at this point. So it was everything. I came back from school, I went out with my bike, and I rode. And at the beginning I was really bad and I needed to train hard to get to the level. And I also was really shy because everywhere were good riders and I was pretty shy to ride. But then I rode a bit more at my home house and on the streets to get my first small tricks in, some bunny hops, some 180s. And I got pretty fast better, and then I had on this whole journey a lot of injuries. But before the injuries, I want to show you a small video clip here of some tricks I did at this time. Maybe I will find some footage, I will put it in here. And as I said, soon after that I had a lot of injuries. So first of all, I broke my shin and my fibula, so the whole part of my shin here. And then I had a metal plate here on the left side of my shin. And I needed to rest for 3 months. I had 2 operations, one for putting the metal plate in, one for putting it out or to getting it out. And a lot of pain and a lot of suffering, but I got back to my bike. And soon after that, I trained and trained. I also won a lot of competition at this point, and my goal was again to become the best German BMX rider at this point, and then also transition to the US to go to the really big competitions and to be the best or the best version as I could be. And for this I trained every day and was again my biggest passion, and I had more injuries. So then 1 year later, after I wanted to try a new trick and I lost control of my bike. 3 meters above the ground, my knee came under the bike, and it was a really weird feeling at first because I couldn't move my whole leg. It was, I don't know why, it was paralyzed. I couldn't move it. So I know that's something really bad. And then I went to the doctor and he told me that I had a cruciate ligament rupture. And this is probably one of the worst injuries you can have, or really bad injury, because you need to, first of all, you have a really intense operation that takes a long while. So you can't walk for 8 weeks or sometimes even a bit longer. And then after this, you need to recover for 6 to 8 months. So a really long period of time before you can go back and to train again and to go back on your bike. And after these 6 months, I was ready. I felt ready. I wanted to get back on my bike, and I got my first sessions in. And then in school sports, we had hurdle jumps. So really easy. And after the 4th jump, I landed on my right knee and I had another cruciate ligament rupture again. And that was one of the times of my life where I was at the lowest. It was still, when I look back, I was totally, I don't know how to describe it, but I was lost. I cried every single day, because when you work for something for 3 or 4 years, at this point 3 years, and you have this goal and you really make good progress, and then everything gets destroyed. And I knew at this moment that I could never ride again. because the doctor said to me earlier, after my first injury, you should not ride. Your knee, and my knee at this point with 16, was like someone who is 50 or 60. So my knee was just destroyed. I had already some arthrosis. So I said to myself after the next injury, I don't want to operate the knee again, because again, an 8-month process of it, it's so much time and it hurts and it's exhausting. So I said, I don't want to operate my knee again. I don't want to go to the hospital. I will try it without. And every doctor said, no, you shouldn't do it. You should operate it. But I said, no, I will try it. So then after it, I don't had a cruciate ligament at this point. I stumbled across CrossFit. Yeah, I think, or maybe a lot of people know CrossFit. It means constantly varied movements, I think. I don't know the exact translation right now, but it's like you need to be strong, you need to be fast, you need to be efficient, you need to have a good mobility. It's not just about lifting a lot of weight and these kind of things. And I got super passionate about CrossFit, and then I saw that there are some CrossFit games. It's like the biggest competition in CrossFit. It's once a year in America, and at this point you can win. When you win the CrossFit games, you get a prize of 250,000 euros. So my goal was to win it. I was super motivated. I watched a lot of videos, and what I always do when I want to become good in something, I watch people who are already at this level. So I watched all these athletes at this time, how they perform their movements, how they are efficient, what is their technique to be more efficient, to be stronger, their routines. So I invested 2-3 hours a day in learning everything, and then of course I did a lot of workouts. So I came to the CrossFit box in Germany, and I made pretty fast some friends, and all of them were older than me, because at this point I was 16 or 17, so still really young, and I got into training. And soon after this, I had some really strong strength numbers. So with the age of 17, I would say, I squatted 140 kilo 3 times. I had a 180 kilo deadlift, and I also think I have some videos about it, so you see the video now. So in general, I got totally hooked about physical activities and CrossFit, and I trained every single day. And soon after it, I again worked to get some money and to buy my first barbell and my first pull-up bar for my garden, and to work more, to do more workouts every single day, because all the pro athletes in America, they had a home gym. So I bought myself the first home gym, and I trained with my friends every day twice. So one workout in the morning was for efficiency. We did some mobility work and some efficiency technique training, and then in the afternoon a really heavy lifting session as an average. So twice a day to get really good, because in CrossFit it's not about being the strongest, it's about being good in everything, and that's what I loved about it, and I got totally hooked, as I said. And then we also did workouts where we just got some tires of my dad's car, and we ran around in our neighborhood with them and had some pretty funny workouts. And then one day, after 1 or 2 years, I was really good. I won again my first competitions, and I was on a high. I realized that I have some problems again with my knee, because again, as I told you, I had my cruciate ligament rupture, and I don't operated it again. So I don't have a cruciate ligament at this point, and it hurt a lot. It hurted a lot. And one session, I know exactly the day and what I did. I did some Olympic weightlifting movements, my favorite CrossFit movements, snatches and clean and jerks. And my knee hurted so much that I went to a doctor, and he said, you should definitely operate your knee again. And that was the point where I realized I can never be a CrossFit athlete on the level I want to be. I can never win the CrossFit games, because when you have your first really huge injuries in such a young age, because I was 17 or 18 at this point, there is only a really small chance to make it to the top, because all the athletes, they train every day, and when you have so much suffering with different injuries you had before, it's really hard to get to this point. And my doctor said again, your knee, you can compare it with someone who is 60. And I said, okay, I don't want to put my health on the line. I want to walk like a normal person for like maybe 20, 30 years. And I know right now that I will get a lot of knee problems with the age of 30, 40. So a lot faster than other people because of all my injuries. And in total at this moment, I had 11 operations on my whole body because I had a lot more problems with my knee. And it was a bad time, and it's still not good. I can do some sports, but it's still something what is in the way. And I started doing CrossFit maybe 2-3 months ago again to work on some movements, and it's fun, but I only do it for fun. I don't want to compete. I don't want to be the best because I can't, but I would like to be. And this was a bit like the whole history of my career as an athlete. And as I told you, I had so many ups and downs, and I always try to come back and to be mentally strong. And what helped me in this time and what still helps me now is to, first of all, to work hard. It's like the most important thing. I train twice a day in CrossFit. We train every day, the whole day in BMX. And it's like the only way to become good in something and to get to the things you want in your life. Everyone who's successful or who achieved something, he worked really, really hard, period. Yeah. And another thing is that setbacks and failures on your way are normal. Yeah, you need to overcome them and work again and work harder. But sometimes you need to realize when it's time to stop, and that was definitely a time to stop for myself. And yeah, a bit for you now, the history about my career as an athlete. And from this I transferred into business. So I started my first company a couple of months after my final operation. And by the way, I had a final operation of my knee. Now I have a cruciate ligament in there, and everything is good now, but still not that good. And I can't compete professional, and I don't want to be at this moment. I do sports for fun. I love to do sports. It's one of the greatest things to do physical activities, to learn new skills in different sports. And yeah, that's a bit about my history. And maybe you had also some injuries and some problems with your career as an athlete. So comment below when you had some similar experiences, some strong injuries. I would like to know that, and maybe we can share some knowledge about yeah, coming back to your life and to get to new things. So thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video, and we will see us in the next one again. Bye bye.